South, this is kind of been a slow news week. Not a whole lot going on. I think this is going to be a short episode. Not a lot of updates to get to.
I got some jokes I can tell. Is that?
Are they like econ jokes?
Do you have your little cube thing? Maybe you can do some more tricks with it or whatever you do.
I forgot to bring it in. I kind of started to. I'm on a 12-step program.
Okay, good. I'm glad you went to those meetings. Wait.
Yeah.
So I guess we can probably just shut it down then. The shortest episode.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Hold on. The fax machine.
You have a fax?
Yeah. Wait. Hold on. Let's see.
We got. Is that in the budget?
Look. Breaking news. What?
Bank failure.
Bank fail. Wait. Hold on.
We are done.
Another fact.
Bank failure.
Wait.
Banks are done.
This is just breaking news part 2.
Oh, bailed out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a happy ending, I guess.
We're good to go.
Seems a little bit on me.
Everything's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can do a show now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Economy Lately. I'm Anthony Smith, Chief Economist here at FreightWaves, and I'm joined by the one, the only, South Turk.
Hey, now.
And we got some news. So South, since last time we chatted, some bank failures have happened.
Bank failures?
Yeah, bank failures.
What is this, like the 1920s?
They're back now.
Oh.
So that was a thing. We also got updates for the CPI, the PPI, retail sales. Jerome Powell spoke last week around his testimony, and we kind of talked to some of that last episode. But we also got news for housing starts. There's going to be updates for manufacturing. I mean, I thought there was going to be nothing, but there's everything.
I know, you're right. This is going to be like a 20-minute episode, right?
Yeah, can we do that?
I mean, they can't stop us.
They can't stop us. They won't stop us. This is why we're not sponsored. Anyway, jumping into the first one, we got to get into kind of recapping, of course, one more time, Jerome Powell and his statements last week. So one of the things that we heard was a really hawkish approach to what we're seeing in the macroeconomy, especially around inflation, and that Jerome Powell is going to really be doing anything and everything he can to tamp down inflation. After that meeting, a lot of the sentiment was that he will be likely looking to do a slight bump to interest rates in the coming week or so. And so that was going to be the big expectation moving forward for his next announcement. Since then, we've gotten, of course, SVP failures. And so that was a large event that happened one Friday. And then the weekend really erupted with news and developments all around the situation. With that, we saw that the Fed was quick to act, and the FDIC is now going to be doing essentially a pseudo bailout, and all funds are going to be covered through some of these bank failures that we've seen. So this is also going to be one of those big things that is going to be kind of pushing the Fed. Is there going to be further interest rate increases in this type of environment, in this macro economy? The other big thing that we also saw were inflationary reports. So from the CPI, we saw that there was some easing overall. We've even seen declines happen for the PPI for producers and wholesalers, showing that upstream activity and inflation is starting to ease a little bit in terms of inflation. Now, South, this is just 1 month of activity, so this isn't just a trend just yet. So, I mean, it's a very tricky situation here.
Yeah, okay. 2 questions real quick.
Yeah.
First, did we ever figure out if Jerome Powell is related to Colin Powell?
They might be cousins.
Cousins. Okay, all right. Second question.
Are they cousins?
The government said that they're not going to use taxpayer money to, give the money back to these people that had their money in the bank. Where's this money coming from? Are we just printing it randomly?
Yeah. So the Fed can just essentially print money. But the big thing is that I guess there are assets that can really be, used to say that this is not just going to be a creation of funds, and that there are actual goods out there that will be kind of converted to. So there's that. But the big thing is if there is a pause in interest rates increases, or if there's even a downward movement in interest rate increases, that would be essentially a pivot by the Fed. And if that were to happen, one of the big things is that it could cause potentially more inflation. And so have we finished the fight just yet? It's almost like, you know, in those zombie movies when, you know, you have the main character, one of the shooters or whatever, they shoot the zombie and they don't quite get a headshot, but they kind of, you know, get a whole bunch of body shots, but they're out of bullets and you think the zombie's going down.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what we're at right now. The Fed is kind of saying, hey, are we out of bullets? Are we going to reload? Are we going to double tap? Do we get a headshot on this bad boy? We don't know. And so it's a very risky situation if we say, hey, it looks like it's coming down and we're just going to stop now, or do we make sure that we finish through the line? Do we continue to ensure that, you know, we've won this fight on inflation? So this definitely puts Jay Powell in an interesting position.
Yeah, you know, interesting parallel, because there's one thing I know about zombie movies. There's not a lot of survivors in the end. Is that a forecast for...
You know, the interesting thing about zombie movies is the classification of survivors. You know, usually we see the survivors as those who didn't turn into a zombie, but maybe the zombies were the survivors all along.
You're right.
Because zombies get hunted in those movies.
Yeah.
You never talk about the zombies aspect.
Well, that's kind of I Am Legend, right?
Yeah.
The whole idea is that he becomes the legend at the end.
Yeah, that movie really slapped some sense into me. The other big thing that we saw, retail sales did dip down, and so that was a pretty, I think, expected move for the macro updates for this week. We did see that it took a step back. The other big thing that we saw was that there was some continued moderation, now under 200,000 for initial jobs claims. So those really kind of set the stage for what we're seeing right now within the overall macro economy.
When you suffer muscular pain, the pain of strain, muscular rheumatism, or backache, reach for heat, the liniment that's strong, it does not burn. Heat penetrates deep to bring immediate relief to sore aching muscles. Wherever you hurt, brush on heat. For deep penetrating relief from the pain of strain, muscular rheumatism, get heat, the liniment that penetrates deep to bring immediate relief.
The other big thing is that we got updates for housing starts, showing a significant jump for overall housing starts. Really, the big thing around this is going to be multifam, which is definitely going to be a segment that's going to likely have a little bit more legs on it in the coming months, even though we did see a slight increase for single family. Really, a lot of people really that can't afford a home right now, maybe they're getting priced out by mortgages, even though that started to moderate and lower a little bit later, a little bit in the most recent updates for mortgages. They're going to be looking to rent homes. And so that's going to be a big thing that I think a lot of builders are going to try to hang their hat on in the coming months here. And of course, there's still a lot of unfinished projects throughout the country for construction. Oh, and South, this is March, so it is Women's History Month. Huge shout out to all the women throughout history and now just doing the thing, making it happen, making moves, and making our society better.
Yeah.
Also, there were updates for the labor force participation rate for women, really kind of getting to some of the pre-pandemic levels. And I think that's a great thing because if there just needs to be like this balance in the workplace. Because if I'm in a room and it's just too many guys in there, it's just, what's going on here?
Yeah, too many bros especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get bank failures is what you get.
Yeah, you usually call them...
That's going to do it for this episode of Economy Lately. We're going to have industrial production that's going to get updated this morning, and we'll also have some updates next week. Not going to be that heavy of a week. Maybe we'll cap some of the trends that happened this week a little bit more detail. And of course, we'll get some words from Jay Powell and the FOMC as well. So, South, that's going to do it. We'll see.
Hey, I do notice you're not wearing any green. Today's, the Cinco de Mayo for Irish people, St. Patrick's Day.
Are you trying to get us canceled?
For what?
We're done. We're done.